It's Monday, June 17th, and I'm your host, Paula Hersey. On Barnstable Today, we head out to the Cape Cod Baseball League's opening day for a look at the new Harbor Hawks field, celebrate Flag Day with a special program at the Barnstable Community Horace Mann Charter Public School, and learn more about kindergarten registration. Now for a look at municipal and legislative notes. Barnstable Police Chief Matthew K. Sonnabend is pleased to announce the promotion of Lieutenant Mark J. Cabral to the rank of Deputy Chief. Deputy Chief Cabral is a 17-year veteran of the department, having been assigned to the Patrol Division to supervise the midnight shift for the past 7 years. Tune in tomorrow to Barnstable Today for our interview with Deputy Chief Cabral. He fills in for Chief Sonnabend on our weekly Barnstable Police Department segment. Last Friday morning, Town Manager Mark Ells and members of the John F. Kennedy Memorial Trust Fund Committee joined with the students and staff of the Barnstable Community Horace Mann Charter Public School in celebration of Flag Day. The JFK Memorial Trust Fund Committee's Vice Chair, Bob Jones, presented the school with a flag that had flown over the Capitol in Washington, D.C., and was part of the ceremonies at the JFK Memorial on Memorial Day.
Welcome, everyone. I'd like to welcome all of our students, our parents, and our community members who have come to help celebrate this very special day. I want to thank the John F. Kennedy Memorial Trust Fund Committee for the honor of hosting this year's Flag Day ceremony. We will start this morning with both the Pledge of Allegiance and our national anthem. And I would like to invite John Carley up here to help us with that.
Thank you, Dr. Cookstis. Welcome to our Flag Day ceremony. Please stand as we say the Pledge of Allegiance and sing the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. The student mission of BCHM-CPS is to create a helpful and safe learning community of students, teachers, and families. Our school will interest, educate, and challenge all children in grades K through 3. As students, we take an active role in our learning and community and aim for success. We will be safe, respectful, and responsible.
Today, Friday, June 14th, is Flag Day. It is not an official holiday like Memorial Day, but but it is an important day to celebrate our flag. We celebrate Flag Day on June 14th each year because that was the day that Congress adopted the flag designed by Betsy Ross in 1777. Betsy Ross had been asked to design a flag by George Washington. She chose to make a flag with 13 red and white stripes and 13 stars, 1 star and 1 stripe for each of the states. Today, our flag still has 13 stripes, 7 red and 6 white stripes for each of those original states. It now has 50 stars for each of our 50 states. The color of the flag are important as well. Red means hardiness and valor, white stands for purity and innocence, and blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Today our school will receive a flag that has flown over the United States Capitol. This is very exciting and a great honor. Please welcome representatives from John F. Kennedy Memorial Trust Fund Committee.
Thank you. Good morning, boys and girls, and ladies and gentlemen. That was a very nice job, especially the history of the flag being accepted by the Second Continental Congress in 1777. Wow. It's 2019 now? That's a long time ago. Well, ladies and gentlemen, every year the members of the Kennedy Memorial Trust Fund Committee get a flag that was flown over the United States Capitol, and it's sent to the Kennedy Memorial on Memorial Day. And at that point we accept the flag, and then we disseminate the flag to an elementary school within the town, and we go from school to school, and now it is your turn to receive the flag. So this, as you mentioned, was flown over the United States Capitol, and they send along with that an authentication which is sent by the architect of the Capitol, and it basically reads the flag of the United States of America. This is to certify that the accompanying flag was flown over the United States Capitol on February 11th, 2019, just a couple of months ago. At the request of the Honorable William R. Keaton as a member of Congress, this flag was flown for the John Fitzgerald Kennedy Memorial Trust Fund Committee at our Memorial Day exercises. And this is signed by Christine A. Merton. So on behalf of the committee, I would like to hand this flag over to your principal for safekeeping, and when you come by here and that flag is flying, that you can say to your friends and neighbors and your parents that it's a very special flag because it was flown over the United States Capitol. So thank you very much and enjoy the day.
Thank you. The kindergartners and Miss Horgan, Miss Jones, and Miss Fravel, Miss Autry's classes will sing You're a Grand Old Flag. Thank you, kindergarten students. First graders will now sing 3 cheers for the red, white, and blue.
Thank you, first graders. Stella, a second grader, would like to share a poem titled Freedom.
Freedom. Set our flag to be unfurled, for she's the dearest of all the world. Shout for freedom from sea to sea, wave your flag of liberty. Tell our stories far and near, for days of freedom are truly here. You, our flag, we rally around. Thee we swear allegiance to our land that is free. We salute you, our flag of liberty.
Thank you. We are greatly honored to receive a flag that flew over the United States Capitol. We would like to give a big thank you to all of our special guests and speakers for beginning with us today. Let's remember to be safe, respectful, be responsible. We can make good choices. We are a learning community with many helping hands. We can make a difference. Happy Flag Day. Thank you.
Do you have a 5-year-old ready for kindergarten? Not sure what school or what to expect? We stopped by Centerville Elementary to talk with Principal Scheifel and Gina Hurley, Executive Director of Social Emotional Learning and Student Services for Barnstable Public Schools. It's the most wonderful time of the year, sort of. We're almost at, our registration is open for kindergarten right now. And I wanted to take some time today and really talk about getting a 5-year-old into kindergarten. It's not your kindergarten of old, of the old days. So let's start with you, Mr. Principal. What do parents need to know about, number one, getting their child ready for kindergarten? Are they ready?
We have a range of students that come to us with varying abilities at kindergarten. Some students come to us with preschool experience. Some students come to us with no preschool experience. I think some of the biggest things that we want to see in our children are parents who have been reading to their children before they start school, so that they're familiar with books and they're into literature and they're excited about learning from reading. Encouraging children to play with each other and have a nice friendship prior to coming to school with other children, giving them that opportunity to learn how to share and engage with other students is also very important as well.
And he brought up a really good point, Dr. Hurley. The social emotional learning, this is embedded throughout the Barnstable Public School system now. A lot of the things that he just spoke about were really literally social emotional learning facilities. These are what these kids are doing in these schools now. Give us a little understanding of how that rolls out in kindergarten.
Sure. So the district vision is to educate the whole child. So it's not just the academic piece, but it is the social emotional piece. And from kindergarten forward, we start with a universal curriculum. So our kindergarten students will be receiving second step curriculum, which teaches social competencies, self-awareness, decision-making, social awareness, and we build upon that every year as they go from kindergarten on up. So it's really treated like a community where you come in, you start your day as a group, you end your day as a group, you're respectful to each other. We teach responsibility and safety throughout the day in different locations. And that gets, like I said earlier, that is built upon in every grade as we move through the grade levels in Barnstable.
Let's talk a little bit about the day, a life in the day of a kindergartner. Do they still do things with paste and markers?
Absolutely, absolutely. So kindergarten is a little bit different from what it was when I went through school. There are more academics blended in, but I would like to say that we also build in a lot of social emotional and learning to play and learning to manipulate and use glue and cut and all of that is still there. But I think, you start the day with the morning meeting, and I would like to echo that really sets the tone, especially at the beginning of the year, for developing friendships, and that's how the children learn each other's names. And then they learn to play and engage in activities together during the morning meeting. So it really does set that stage for how do we get along with each other, how do we make sure our friends are included. And then you would move into, in Centerville, we tend to have our literacy block as the first part of the day. They're fresh, they're ready to learn. And we would have a kindergarten assistant and a teacher in the classroom for the literacy block, and there might be, if we have some students who are bilingual, there might be an English language development teacher who comes and supports in that classroom. We tend to operate with centers, so we would have a whole class lesson with a big book, and then they would go into centers where at one center they might be working on letter sounds, another center they might be cutting and pasting, and then there would be a center where a teacher is doing literacy with the students, and in small groups, so they really get some individualized instruction. We break up the day with a nice lunch recess block. Here we come back and we have our math block right after lunch, followed by maybe some small group interventions, a little bit of free play, and then we end the day with specialists, which could consist of art, music, PE, health, and library and technology.
That's a full day
It's a full
for a
day.
5-year-old. So Barnstable's had full day kindergarten for a number of years now. What do you find that, some parents are very leery of, that's a really long day for a kid, but it seems like it's fairly structured and there's time for everything, right?
Yes.
So when you are out there, open registration right now, why should parents get kids registered now if it's not until September when they have to go to school?
I'll let you answer
You want me to
that.
get that? So for me, it's important to register your child sooner rather than later. Right now, we're setting up our kindergarten screening appointments in May, and we want to get as many students in so we can lay eyes on them. And it's important because we can see what skills they have. There's a nice kindergarten screener that we use. In addition, we have set up stations in our gymnasium where students interact with the teachers and they engage in some play, and we start to get a sense for the skills that students have, and it helps us really formulate the best class list as we possibly can. Kindergarten is kind of like playing poker when you're assembling those lists, whereas when you're making class lists for first grade, second grade, third grade, you've had that opportunity to really know the child. So for me, to set the stage for success for the fall, we really like to see where the children are at. Do they have good play skills with each other? Are they able to share? Do they have some literacy skills? Do they understand shapes? It's really helpful for us to help develop our class lists.
What do parents do or guardians do when they have questions about registration?
So my first line of defense here at Centerville and our help would be our school administrative assistants. I mean, they really do have the knowledge to answer questions about registration steps. When you go through the process, you can set up an appointment to come in, and they'll review the documents. The school nurse would be here to take a look at any medical paperwork you have to best advise you. Like Dr. Hurley did say, it gives you that first go-round of making sure you have everything you need and giving you plenty of time, based on the consultation with them to get what you need.
Right. What are some of the resources that the district provides for that registration process?
So our best resource is the website. And on our district website, there's a registration section that has frequently asked questions. So I think almost every question that we've had posed by a parent, we have put on that website.
What else do you want parents to know before we close today about the first day of school?
So our first day of school in Barnstable it's not a full day of school for kindergartners. We set up our orientation meetings for the first day of school, so the parents come to school with their child. And it's at that point that we answer questions about how do I pay for lunch? How much snack should I pack for my child? How do we do dismissal here at Centerville or any of the other schools? It's an opportunity to really review the ebb and flow of the school for the parents. While we're meeting with the parents as a front office team, the teachers take the children to the classroom so that when they do come without their parents that next day, they know where their classroom is, they know where their hook is. They've had a little time to socialize with each other, and we even set up a small recess for them on that orientation day where they go outside with the assistants and they spend some time playing on the equipment and really getting to know what does it look like when we make a line. You know, so all of that happens during the orientation process.
Anything else you would like to add?
I always like this time of year. I like to meet our incoming students, and it's an exciting time to see some new students getting ready to come through the doors of this school, and they all bring a different kind of energy. Every group that comes through, they're always different, but it's exciting for us as a school to meet our new students.
And Paula, one thing that I would mention is that although right now we don't have any school choice slots available for kindergarten because we are waiting for our resident K students to register, if there are residents of other towns that are considering kindergarten for their child under school choice, we will have more information in August about whether we have slots available for non-Barnstable residents.
Excellent. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Opening day for the Cape Cod Baseball League took place last Monday, and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks held a special ceremony before the start of their game to dedicate their new ballpark to Judy Walden Scarfile. Scarfile, who served the league in various capacities for over 45 years, has her name engraved on the top of the new scoreboard in right center field. The field, located at St. John Paul II High School, has been fully refurbished with $700,000 from the town of Barnstable and $100,000 from the Yawkey Foundation.
Having the town of Barnstable and CPC kick this off was monumentous, because without them, and literally without them, that $700,000, that's 70% of the project. Without them, this never would have gotten done. It couldn't have gotten done. It would not have been possible to raise $1 million. It has been a very exciting night. It's also been just an incredible journey working to get this field done, and in 10 months, it's just amazing to see how everyone pulled together. I mean, the example of Joyce Landscape out here in the evening, in the dark, in the wintertime with the lights on, and I remember one picture in the paper had drizzle added to that. It's extremely humbling. I mean, they're really, people have asked me what's it like to look out on the field and see your name up there, and there really aren't any words. It's like embarrassing. It's an honor. It's disbelief.
We've always valued what this location brings to our town, brings to Hyannis, brings to the downtown. So thank you for moving this project forward. We were pleased to be a part of this and being able to participate financially and otherwise within the town. So on behalf of the town of Barnstable, our town council, and many of us who got to participate, again, thank you and have a great season.
I want to echo the statements that were said about the Joyce Company and Joe Scott being here and doing this work. It's just unbelievable the transformation that they've created in this field. Many of you know how bad shape it was in, but Brad just reminded me that when a player stood in right field, in many places on this field, you couldn't see their feet. You could just see their knees. That was the great difference. So it's a great job, guys. Thank you. Last person I want to recognize here, among others in the town, including the town council and other town staff, is Mark Ellis. He's really stepped up to the plate in more ways than one to bring our plans to the Community Preservation Committee to bring this field forward. Also, a lot of our field was responsible was completed this year, and we have plans moving forward going to begin the renovation of other fields in town. Joe Scott really got started with his Little League fields over there and set a high bar for us. We look forward to carrying that on into other fields in the town of Barnstable. High school is taking on a huge piece of their multi-million-dollar renovation of those fields. So this is going to be a really big send off here, and we look forward to great things coming with the sports in Barnstable. Thank you very much.
Up next, things to do, places to go, and people to meet. The future looks bright at the 20th anniversary celebration at the Barnstable Senior Center this Friday, June 21st from 12 to 2:30. Come to the community cookout featuring the Breakaway X Grill and dessert by Four Seas Ice Cream. Enjoy music to get your toes tapping with Bart Wiseman Musical Entertainment and sing along with the Cape Cod Ukulele Group. The event is generously sponsored by the Friends of the Barnstable Council on Aging. Comments, suggestions, accolades? Connect with us on Facebook, email us, or send us an old-fashioned note by carrier pigeon. Channel 18 works. For you, I'm Paula Hersey, and thank you for watching Barnstable Today.